Welcome back to BVarsity Live. That was fun. Ron Nichetti and Al Goldberg and Executive Director Roger Blake of the CIF are still out in the hallway chatting. They're chatting with your girlfriend, I think, Trevor.
Yep.
This has taken a strange turn.
Well,
they're not talking to us anymore.
No. She's much more, likable and.
She's easier on the eyes. I'll tell you that
is.
Okay, let's talk basketball. Let's talk wrestling. This is quite possibly the biggest weekend in high school sports of the season. I mean, I know you have straight track, which is huge. Obviously, football section championships probably has the biggest audience, the most interest. But as far as the most important stuff going on to Kern County, it's very difficult to beat this first weekend of March. And we'll start. Let's start with basketball. You're going to be up at Selland Arena in Fresno. State Central Section basketball championships, not state yet. You're not as busy as you thought you might be as far as Kern County teams.
Well, and the thing is that, should we get into this? Should we get into it?
Let's do it. We don't have very much time, so we better.
Centennial had a chance to tie the game with 11 seconds left, and Malcolm Johnson, who's an absolutely fantastic basketball player, missed the back end, and Edison went on to beat the Golden Hawks 51-49. So Edison Bullard is a rematch in D1. John, you want to go ahead and pull those slides up? So as you can see here, so there's Bullard beating Clovis West, which is kind of a shocker too. Great ending there for Bullard to move on. So we'll see a CMAC rematch as they will go ahead and face Edison. We'll move to D2, another non-Kern County matchup here with Mission Oak. Just go ahead and start sliding right through those, John. So Mission Oak, who beat Roosevelt last night 65-58, they move on as they'll play Hanford, who edged Ridgeview last night.
And that game will be Friday night. The D1 game was Saturday night.
Yep, so that'll be Friday night. And then West is the local team. They're the #1 seed in D3. They beat Selma last night, 87-63. Zach, you were at that game. West full throttle. So they'll go up against Porterville, who beat Tehachapi pretty handedly last night. That game was kind of out of hand.
I believe that game 71-59 was the final of that game. But anyway.
I can't read your handwriting. I apologize. I was going off of your brackets.
West, the only Kern County team, boys or girls, playing on Saturday. They played at 4 o'clock Saturday.
And then here's #1 seed Emmanuel, the team that we're talking about, who's #1 ranked by us at BVarsity and Fresno B. And they'll play Granite Hills, who edged BCHS 58-46 behind 38 points by their star. That's incredible. And then in D5, Carruthers, the #1 seed, beat Liberty Madera Ranchos, and they'll go up against Kern Valley, who's back in the D5 finals for the second year in a row, led by Dalton Galling and Zach Bushling.
Dalton Gallis and the Bronx. That game is at 4 p.m. on Friday.
And then here's the one that's going to cause some intrigue in my household, the head shaving incident. So,
yes, as most of you probably remember, about 6 weeks ago on BVarsity Live, Trevor said he was so convinced that Garces and Clovis West would play for the Division I Girls Championship that he vowed to shave his head if they didn't. After the show, he was surprised to find out that I'm actually going to hold you to that. So you became the biggest Rams and Golden Eagles fan on the planet, and the Golden Eagles came through. They beat Centennial the other night, but Garces upset, only the second loss of the year, losing to Edison.
So that game, Edison just absolutely had a fantastic game plan, and Garces couldn't hit water
from the ocean.
As Coach Todd Dennison would say. And they'll play Clovis West, who handed Centennial the loss 85-61. But Independence, they are going to play Friday night at 6 p.m. The #1 seed beat Yosemite 49-40. And so the Falcons are in it, and they'll play Sierra, the small school that doesn't care what division they're in.
See, Sierra almost lost that quarterfinal to Bakersfield, whom who Independence beat handily. So if that's any indication, Independence is favored in that one, but we'll find out 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
And then in D3, it's Fresno, and they'll play Mission Oak, who beat Arvin 59-36 in the semifinals. So Fresno, Mission Oak of Tulare, and D3, D4, Orosi playing Emmanuel. So Emmanuel's got two teams in the D4 section finals. And finally in D5, Carruthers, the #1 seed. That's incorrect. I'm sorry. No, that is correct. That is correct. So they handily beat Kern Valley, and they will play Bakersfield Christian.
The girls, Frank
Thiessen, who does it all, coaches girls tennis, boys tennis, and girls basketball, and is back looking for another section title. He's already got, 10 in his pocket in tennis and looking for one in basketball.
10 in boys basketball and about 9 more in girls basketball. So
Jeez.
I believe
tennis
he's up,
or basketball?
Tennis. I'm sorry. I believe he's up to close to 30 in his career. Frank's in his 80s, and he has been around as long as
up
that
at
makes it sound
Wasco
like.
before BCHS. If I'm
now
is that
wrestling.
right?
Yes, that's right. He's a Wasco boy. Wrestling, just to set the stage real quick, we'll have much more in tomorrow morning's Californian. There are 5 defending state champions coming in. Probably the 2 most notable. Zahid Valencia and Anthony Valencia of St. John Bosco will be here this weekend. Anthony Valencia at 170 pounds is ranked number 1 in the nation. Zahid Valencia at 182 pounds is ranked number 2 in the nation. At 106, another St. John Bosco wrestler is Cade Olivas, who's a freshman ranked in the top 5 in the nation at 106. Justin Mejia of Clovis, a defending champion, at 113. And then I believe the other defending state champion is actually Colt Doyle of Poway. Maybe it's a different Poway. It's a Poway wrestler, and now I'm drawing a blank on who it is. But anyway, Poway, the team that could possibly get in Clovis' way as the Cougars try to win their 5th straight team title. And frankly, as I followed them the last couple of weeks, barring something crazy happening or multiple injuries or something, I don't see Clovis being stopped from winning 5 straight. If there's a team that can do it, it's Poway, it's Buchanan, Clovis' crosstown rival, or it would be St. John Bosco with those 3 probable state champions.
And remind everybody, BVarsity blog at bakersfield.com. Zach will have up-to-the-minute updates on that, and then I'll have the same thing from Selland Arena Friday as we have back-to-back-to-back section basketball games. So we'll be jam-packed tomorrow on the website, and then full coverage Saturday and Sunday's print edition.
Just want to say good job, Trevor, on that interview. Very well done.
Not me, though.
You had some good questions.
That was terrible.
Well, I mean, it was just, it's good to it's always good to have someone of that magnitude in this room.
Yeah, frankly, between Roger and you and Trevor, I couldn't fit a word in edgewise. So
no, it was good. We had a good conversation, and it's great to we're one of the few newspapers in the country or in the state that has that ability to get that done. So good job to you guys.
Thanks,
boss. Hey, we got a minute left. Trevor, what are you most looking forward to from Selland Arena this weekend?
The turnaround that Ty Hammond has done at West since taking over the program 2 years ago and bringing them to the D3 finals in boys basketball, I think it's fantastic, and I think Ty would be the first one. Obviously, he was upset that he couldn't be here today because he had a meeting, but it's one of those things where I think he really takes on, he's a former BHS basketball player, really takes on that kind of big brother-father role with them.
Also an assistant under Justin Hudson, who's now at San Diego State at BHS.
Kern Valley going back in the boys' side.
I asked for one thing, Trevor.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. That's the one thing that I'm looking at.
All right. I'm looking for. The state wrestling is one of my favorite events of the year. It's tiring, it's long days, but it's a lot of fun. And this has been a lot of fun. Our thanks to Roger Blake and the CIF for stopping by. For Trevor Horn, Louis Amestoy, I'm Zach Ewing. This has been BVarsity
Director John
Live.
Farron.